211 is on the posterior midline, below the spinous process of T5. (214) is on the posterior midline, below the spinous process of C7 in a depression. Lung 1 is 1 sun inferior and slightly lateral to lung 2. To find the 1 sun, find the width of an intercostal space close to the sternum and transfer it over. Kidney 25 is in the second intercostal space, 2 sun lateral from the midline. Ren 9 is 1 sun superior to the centre of the umbilicus on the midline. Pericardium 6 is on the flexor aspect of the forearm. It's 2 sun proximal from pericardium 7, and it's in between the 2 tendons palmaris longus and flexor carpi radialis. Pericardium 7 is on the flexor aspect of the wrist. It's level with heart 7 and between 2 tendons, palmaris longus and flexor carpi radialis. Some people don't have this palmaris longus tendon, in which case you'd just be going ulnar to this flexor carpi radialis. So finding heart 7, articulate the wrist, coming between those 2 tendons, that if you can't see them, you can get the person to join their thumb and their little finger together, and that will highlight those 2 tendons. And just relax again. Heart 7, which is at the flexor aspect of the wrist joint, at the proximal border of the pisiform bone, the radial to this flexor carpi ulnaris tendon. In order to bring this tendon into relief, if you get the patient to put their thumb and their little finger together, that will bring that tendon up. And just relax. Articulate the wrist and pop your point in.
Sanjiao points on the forearm are best located with the arm laying flat on the bed and the elbow turned outwards. To find Sanjiao 5, come 2 sun proximal to Sanjiao 4, in between the radius and the ulna. You should be on the radial side of the tendon of extensor digitorum communis. If the person wiggles their fingers, this tendon will come into relief.
Large intestine 4, you're going to find the length of the second metacarpal bone. So running your finger down, finding the base, making sure that you're not actually on the carpal bones themselves, finding the midpoint of that shaft bone, coming between the first and second metacarpals, nearer to the second than the first in the muscle.
Large intestine 11 is located at the midpoint between lung 5 and the prominence of the lateral epicondyle of the humerus. Typically, this is at the end of the transverse cubital crease when the arm is fully flexed. Large intestine 12 is located 1 cun superior and 1 cun lateral to large intestine 11. Palpate for a nice groove. Stomach 36 is located approximately 13 cun superior to the prominence of the lateral malleolus on the anterior border of tibialis anterior. The easiest way to find it is to palpate down the tibial tuberosity. Find the base of the tibial tuberosity and move slightly laterally until you fall into a nice dip on the anterior border of tibialis anterior. This point is also 3 cun inferior to the inferior border of the patella.